successful. Bert, how much of a company's success is attributable to the product they're selling versus the CEO? I mean, does the CEO matter? Like, if the CEO is fired, when do you get nervous that the company's success, is going to be changed a lot based on that? I mean, tell us about what you think about management versus just the product.
Well, the product that you're selling is basically a function of what the CEO decided that you were going to be selling. So,
well, sometimes a new CEO comes in, overtakes the previous products, right?
That's exactly why they're brought in, okay, is because the strategies that the CEO has had aren't working, and they need somebody new to determine how they're going to be able to pivot or resurrect or some other way fulfill their potential.
Okay, you have some examples of CEOs that have run a company to the ground with good products versus CEOs that, if they join a company that's not even doing well, you think that you might be interested in checking out?
Well, yeah, first of all, as I said, if the CEO picked a good product strategy, then the company, more likely than not, unless it has abysmal sales execution, will do well, okay? That's the way it works. So I do expect that will happen. But I think that most often you're looking for a company like Teradata, for example, which is doing very poorly and needed a new strategy. And they brought in Vic Lund, who, interestingly, was not an IT guy, but could figure out what Teradata needed to do in order to sell their solutions to a broad group of potential customers. Symantec, about a year and a half ago, brought in Greg Clark, Blue Coat. They bought Blue Coat, they bought Greg Clark. I don't know which is more important, but the fact is that Symantec had been run by a series of, politely put, very weak CEOs, some of whom are really very unknowledgeable about the data security business.
So if you saw a company and they had a new CEO, or you're looking at management, what's the first step? To look at the companies they were at before and how they performed?
Yes. I mean, when John Chen came to BlackBerry, I knew John Chen because of his work at Sybase. Sybase, believe me, was not one of the world's best companies, and yet somehow he managed to sell it to SAP, and I think it was a 10-bagger.
Wow.
And if ever there, I joked with him at the time. I said, "You must have unscrewed all the light bulbs in the room." And Sybase was not a strong company. I mean, it had a database product that was very, very laggard. They talked about a mobility story.
What did this guy do? I mean,
Who, John Chen?
Yeah, how does a company that's lagging with a new CEO increase the value 10 times? Like, what could someone possibly do? I'm curious. I mean, you probably read about it along the way.
Let me tell you that John Chen developed a a mobility strategy. Everything was about mobility. And they,
Yeah.
and they, and you know what? Mobility is a big deal, no doubt.
I remember that talk was 3-4 years ago. Everybody was about mobile. Even Facebook, they changed their strategy to mobile. Yeah.
And this guy did it before Facebook, okay?
Uh-huh.
So the guys at SAP said, oh, we want to be in the mobility wave, okay? That's what he did. I mean, you can laugh at it if you want, but the record's there to look at.
So a lot of this, CEOs are good at riding the right waves and knowing when something's tapped out, and I guess that's a big thing. You were telling me about the artificial intelligence wave that's going on, and if companies are riding that wave, it's they're going to see superior returns. Like this guy knew, he knew that the company was not on the market radar of what's hot.
I mean, I talked to John Chen. I used to talk to John every 6 or 9 months. Okay, that was my job back then. One of the, part of what I did. And I would go make the trip out to Pleasanton, and not the most pleasant trip, but
Pleasanton, not the most pleasant. Yeah.
Oh, it's at the end of the BART. Okay.
San Francisco.
Yeah, it's at the end of the BART line, and believe me, the place is all Sybase. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Building after building after building. And I tried to get some sense of the nature, the functionality that we're talking about. It was nice, but it wasn't epical, how shall I say. I mean, it was a form of two-factor identification that so that people could buy washing machines from their cell phones. I know a lot of people like the idea of buying washing machines from their cell phones, and I know that Citibank in those days didn't really have a technology to ensure that the people who wanted to buy washing machines from their cell phones were good people. I accept that. So I guess what I'm telling you is I listened. I didn't do so well with Sybase. I let it go way too early.
Did you let go of Sybase when it was with John Chen?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that he could sell it for that much to SAP. He used to tell me the database business sucks, and that we're lucky if we can hold our own.
So somebody changing their business strategy.
But this is the CEO, man.
Yeah.
You ask me if the CEO is important. You can't pay those guys enough. Give you another example. Paul Ritchie.
What company is that?
Nuance.
Nuance does voice recognition software a lot for the medical industry, hospitals and stuff like that.
For everything.
For everything now, yeah. NUAN.
Yeah.
Carl Icahn invested in that.
And now he isn't.
Now he isn't.
Paul Ritchie could have ruled the bloody world, okay, because he had AI, because natural language capability is built on AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him 7-8 years to finally define Nuance as an AI company. Stock today is less than it was when Siri, which is first AI-based PDA, solution was developed by Nuance.
So the stock is like $16 or something. It's been like that for a couple of years, right? I don't know.
8 years.
8 years. So you didn't mention that one as a. You're saying he was a little bit too slow to jump on the AI branding.
You can use the word little bit. I'll use the word that Paul Ritchie cost his shareholders billions of dollars.
So a lot of what a CEO does is pitch their company to other customers and investors as riding a new wave or not.
Jim Hempelman,
Yeah.
PTC Corporation,
Mm-hmm.
figured out that turning the consumption solution of PTC into the cloud and to a subscription model would be something that would dramatically improve the valuation of his company and perhaps improve operational performance. I'm being maybe a little cynical.
Mm-hmm.
How much you want to pay Jim Hempelman? Well, I would want to pay Jim Hempelman a lot because he took a stock that was $40 a share and had been there forever to $70. That's what you ask about CEOs. Nothing more important. Nothing more important.
All right. Thank you, Bert. Appreciate it.